You did everything right. You stayed up late studying for exams. You shook the right hands. You walked across that stage with a degree in your hand, and you landed the job. So why does your bank account look worse than it did when you were a broke student eating ramen? Degree, check. Job, check. But you're still broke. It is a frustrating, silent reality for millions of graduates today. It's not because you're lazy, it's not just because of the economy, and it's not even just inflation. It is something much more fundamental that nobody warned you about while you were busy taking notes in a lecture hall. You followed a map that was printed 30 years ago, and you're wondering why you're lost in a digital forest. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what is keeping you stuck in this cycle, and the 3 moves that actually change your financial trajectory. The reality is that we were all sold a massive lie. We were told that the path to stability was a linear progression. Go to college, get a job, and the rest would take care of itself. We were led to believe that a degree was a golden ticket to income leverage, but the market has changed. Degrees no longer guarantee leverage. They are now just the baseline entry fee. Having a degree doesn't make you special anymore, it just makes you eligible to apply. The problem is that jobs do not equal wealth, and raises do not equal freedom. In the modern world, college taught you how to earn money as an employee, but it didn't teach you how money actually works. This lack of financial literacy is the hidden tax on your future. Most graduates make a critical first mistake that locks them into being broke for years, and it starts with how they view their time. The first reason you're still broke is that your income is too linear. Linear income is the most common trap for the educated class. It's a simple equation. You trade 1 hour of your life for a set amount of dollars. When you stop working, the money stops coming. This creates a hard ceiling on your potential because you only have 24 hours in a day, and you need to sleep for at least 7 of them. For a recent graduate, this hurts even more because of the massive weight of student loans. You start your professional life in a deep hole, and your entry-level salary is barely enough to cover the interest, let alone the principal. Combine that with rising lifestyle costs, and you find yourself running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster. You might get a 3% raise every year, but if inflation is 5% and your rent goes up by 10%, you are actually getting poorer while working harder. Imagine a junior analyst at a firm. They work 60 hours a week, but their salary is fixed. They are trading the prime years of their life for a paycheck that is swallowed by debt and rent before it even hits their savings account. This is the definition of being trapped in a linear system. In a minute, I'll show you how to break out of this without having to quit your job or take massive risks. The second reason is that lifestyle inflation hits long before wealth does. This is a behavioral trap that is almost impossible to see when you're in it. The moment you get that first real paycheck, the psychological pressure to upgrade your life becomes overwhelming. You've been living like a student for years, and you feel like you finally deserve to live like an adult. You move from the shared apartment to a solo studio. You trade the beat-up car for a monthly payment on something reliable and shiny. You start buying the $15 salads instead of meal prepping. This is called lifestyle creep. Your income went up, but your margins disappeared. Most people think they have an income problem, but they actually have a margin problem. If you earn $5,000 and spend $4,900, you are just as broke as the person who earns $2,000 and spends $1,900. The only difference is the price of your stress. Your paycheck is just a pass-through entity for your landlord, the car dealership, and your subscriptions. Even people who budget perfectly still stay broke because they are playing a defensive game. This leads to the third reason. You are optimizing the wrong game. Most graduates focus on the wrong side of the financial equation. They spend all their mental energy trying to cut back on $5 lattes or finding the cheapest gas station. While being frugal is a useful skill, you cannot save your way to true wealth on a fixed linear income. You are focusing on cutting expenses when you should be focusing on increasing leverage. True wealth building isn't about how much you save, it's about how much you can produce without your direct presence. Most people are playing the budgeting game, which has a floor of 0. You can only cut so much before you stop living. But the earning game has no ceiling. This is where high income skills come into play. People who escape the broke cycle in their 20s are those who realize that the most valuable thing they own is not their degree, but their ability to solve expensive problems. This shift in focus from how do I save more to how do I become more valuable to the marketplace is what separates the people who are stuck until they're 40 from those who find freedom early. quickly. There is a hidden trap here that I call the delayed reality shock. The first 2 to 5 years after college feel temporary. You tell yourself that you're just paying your dues and that things will eventually work out. You assume that as you get older, the money will naturally follow. This is a dangerous assumption. This is the period when people lose the most time and the most compounding power. They wait for a lucky break or a massive promotion that never comes, or if it does, it's already been accounted for by their increased expenses. This is the sunk cost period of your life. You spent 4 years and thousands of dollars on a degree, so you feel obligated to stick to that specific path, even if it's not working. You're waiting for the system to reward your loyalty, but the system isn't designed to reward loyalty. It's designed to reward value and ownership. So what do you actually do starting this month? A change framework involves 3 distinct actionable shifts. First, improve your skills, not your job loyalty. Company is a client in the modern economy, not family. Develop transferable, high-demand, high-income talents. Technology sales, copywriting, data architecture, and project management in high-growth industries are examples. Results matter more than degree to these capabilities. Developing valuable abilities boosts your marketability. You become an expert problem solver instead of a cog. Breaking the linear revenue trap starts with charging more for your time. The second shift, second income with asymmetric upside, not taking a second coffee shop job, that's linear income. Asymmetric upside is an activity with a little downside, but a huge upside. Digital leverage is used here. Scalability is important when freelancing, establishing a digital product, or building a niche online presence. You want to create something that sells 1,000 times. This separates pay from hours. If it only pays you $500 a month at first, that's the most meaningful money you'll ever make since you didn't have to be there. Proof that the system is breakable. Third shift, build assets before comfort. This is difficult since it requires short-term agony for long-term freedom. You must actively invest margins in compounding assets. This includes buying low-cost index funds, starting a business, or learning new skills to boost your earnings. Prioritize your future self over your current ego. Buying a house you can't afford or an automobile that impresses people you don't like limits your freedom. Assets put money in your pocket while you sleep. Comfort items take it out while you look nice. Because this transformation takes time, nobody discusses its timeline. Year 1 is always confusing. You're learning new skills, failing side projects, and feeling stuck. Momentum builds in years 2 and 3. When your skill value matches your efforts, your second revenue stream stabilizes. Your breakthrough came in years 4 and 5. Your investment compounding and talent leveraging ultimately exceed your cost of living. Being broke after college is a plan failure, not a character flaw. One option is to stay without a new plan. College wasn't as bad as you imagined. It laid the groundwork but didn't finish. It provided the tools for good employment but not financial independence. Your education is now your duty. You must shift from permission seeking to leverage building. Income leverage, wealth growth over lifestyle enhancements, and time awareness are key. Time is ticking, and graduation was the greatest time to start. The second best time is now. Which move do you wish you had made after graduating? Do that now after thinking about it. This next video explains how to manage your first $10,000 or construct income systems from start. Your degree started it, but your approach will complete it.